Good evening, everyone. It's Monday. It's the 20th of April, 2026. It's 7 p.m. and we're back here for your delectation and utmost satisfaction. It's the A&DBBL Monday Night Roundup. As the professional, just drop in a cough there. My name is Scott. Yeah, not that one. And I'm here tonight to share with you the 6 games of Blood Bowl action from Week 12, Blood Bowl of the A&DBBL Season 10. Joining me tonight are 2 coaches who encapsulate the blood, sweat, and tears that this game is all about. Firstly, the coach who does not just buck trends but sets them. And for some reason, he's decided that simply rolling ones is so last year. He puts the style in Stowmarket. It's the coach of the Black Shuck Ballers. It's Mr. Tom Hovell.
Good evening.
Yeah, put your intro in early, nice and early. Good evening, Tom. How has your Monday been for you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's only a few games this week, but fun ones nonetheless.
That's what we're all here about, enjoying it to the most of our opportunity that we get to share the love. And secondly, no, it's not another Tom and it's not another Scott, but returning to the Roundup. The coach who is the little black dress of Blood Bowl. He is the coach for all occasions. Coach of the Bitey Ducks, elegance personified. It's Mr. Chris Coe.
I'm going to get I guess it would have to be a little black dress that says the little black dress of Blood Bowl. I feel like that's a title that those are words no one has ever said, I think, in history.
I like to push boundaries and maybe touch upon things that shouldn't be really touched. But hey, that's not for tonight. That's the OnlyFans channel for another evening. Welcome to everyone to tonight's broadcast in chat on Twitch, whether you are an A&DBBL coach or whether you are part of the Blood Bowl collective and wonderful community out there. Couple of call outs to start with. Don't forget, if you're in Woodbridge, Suffolk, it's Aardvarks, it's Dragons. Go there. If you want hats and other Blood Bowl items to add to your collective fashion wardrobe, then this is the place to be. Whether you want the A&DBBL hat, whether you want it in red, in black, in grey, in white, or speak to Scott, he'll give you any other colour if you ask him nicely enough as well. Remember about charity. Whilst we are talking Blood Bowl, yes, we are still here to fight the good fight and drive some wonderful donations to a fantastic charity to help other people less fortunate than ourselves out there as well. So remember, and kudos to Carl the Honeyman as well. He has got his end zone. It is on the board in the store. It looks bloody amazing. Well done, Carl. An example, a beacon to everybody else as well. Don't forget, you can go to Mr. James Handley, who's in chat. Good evening, James. If you want to place a bounty or even claim a bounty as well, or if you just want to make a donation, whether in store or personally, we have the Blood Bowl, the A&DBBL Christopher Coe Just Giving page as well. And do you want me to come back to you to ask you for an update on how we're doing versus target, Chris, later, or are you ready to go now?
I think I've gotten used to being prompted with this question, that even though I hadn't remembered, I knew that I could very quickly click on the link and then talk for long enough for it to load up to say how far we'd got. So £395 is what we've raised so far. So a big thank you to everyone who has donated.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go and we are going to share with you all of the things exciting from the 6 matches for last week as well. We're going to go in, and as much as we're going to look at the next 6 games for your delectation, we will also go through the game of the week, the coach of the week, and who also we think is that player who deserves a bounty on their head as well. We're also going to start looking at the perambulations that the leagues have to offer, especially going into the knockout business end of the divisions. So all of that for you to look forward to. We're going to start tonight, though. We're going to talk about the Andy and Handley rematch, as it's now been christened. We're talking Dwarves against the Tomb Kings as well. Lofi's beat to the bone, coming out on top against the Dwarves. Chris, this was really a bit of a bash fest that seemed just to run away from the Dwarves a bit unexpectedly.
Yeah, I think Andy's in quite a comfortable position in the group, so he can afford to start dropping some points. I'll be honest, I didn't think I like the idea of James pulling off an incredible comeback and finishing in the top 2, and he is exceeding my expectations because I didn't think it was going to happen. So a very good result for James. The Dwarfs kind of stumbling a bit in their last 2 matches, still looking pretty comfy at the top there. But a bit of a stumble.
And Tom, a couple of things to point out on this one. Mr. Handley taking the big dog himself, the big Willie, Mr. Cheney, which was obviously one thing, taking the mascot as well, given that opportunity because Andy decided to take a bribe.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Andy's team name has come back to haunt him because this is the second game in so many games where one of his players has died. So interesting. Good to see they got a bit of speed on the Tomb King side with Wilhelm, who clearly started in good fashion by scoring the first touchdown. And then there was a bit of casualties all round. And then, as I say, in turn 16, there was a dead lineman, which then became a new player for James. So it's really interesting. And also interesting to see the Tomb Guardian scoring the second touchdown.
He did indeed. The big fella made it unsurmountable for James if he's in chat and not solving 1930s crimes as we thought as well. If we look at that as well, obviously 50k for the bribe for the Dwarfs there. Chris, would you have given an opposition 50k if you didn't have to, if you were in this situation with Andy? Or was it just a question of the best way to get rid of these guys in terms of Tomb Kings, knock them down, and then just try and foul them off the pitch?
Yeah, I mean they're pretty. The big Tomb Guardians are pretty sturdy and now have a good array of skills on making them quite terrifying. I don't know, to be honest, because James, it looks like possibly had the player advantage sort of numbers wise going into the game already. I think he would have had a good number of options for star players regardless. I think the bribe was there. I think considering the death roller is there and actually how key having a strength 7 against that wall of strength 5s and how important maybe that is, I can see, I think the bribe maybe does make sense. I think to have the death roller for more than one drive versus having them get and as a payoff allowing the opposition to get Cheney, I think you probably do take that trade-off. I think if you don't have the death roller, you absolutely don't, but keeping that on the field as long as possible, probably pretty key.
Be interesting to know if Andy decided to take the bribe just in case, not to risk having the death roller on too early in the game, trying to manage it so it appears throughout the second half, and then find out you've got to use it for just 1 or 2 drives, or so 1 or 2 turns in the first half. Thank you, chat. Comments coming through. Wilhelm was essential, but his claws were useful. From
Useless.
Mr. Handley there as well. Yeah, also useless. That's useful, useless. Apologies, James. Justin, good evening, Justin. It was a good game to watch on the stream. Yes, a reminder, this is on the YouTube if you do want to go back and have a watch as well. James was very concerned with the diving tackle, and then James responds to the diving tackle. I wish blitzers had big red arrows to remind me of the diving tackle. Did not expect in dodging to be an option so often. Diving tackle, that's what we like. So a 2-0 win then, and another touchdown for a Tomb Guardian for Mr. Handley. Let's have a quick look at how the teams are stacking up after this latest result as well. Chris, do you want to walk us through your opinion on the Tomb Kings? How filthy are these guys starting now to appear under the guidance of Mr. Handley?
Yeah, it's the hit and run that I kind of like the most, giving them that extra bit of movement. Movement and agility are what this team misses. That hit and run, I think is quite a fun choice. Yeah, I wouldn't maybe worry too much about the armbar one if I was playing James, but he's got 2 very nasty looking Tomb Guardians there. So he's coming into his stride, and it's a it's the kind of underdog story that I love. If he turns this around and gets through to playoffs.
So no pressure, James, but Chris has given you his fatherly blessing. So that paternal curse now lays squarely upon your shoulders. Let's have a look at how Andy is developing the dwarf team. We've called these guys out a few times now in the past. Key individuals looking particularly filthy that we know about, not just the mighty blow troll slayers already. Tom, what's your thoughts on these dwarfs?
Yeah,
Where do you think Andy needs to go, if anywhere?
I think he's got it all covered. Really, it's interesting to see that the Death Roller hasn't got any SPP so far. So, is it one of those things where you might have done better without it, rather than having to risk it being sent off every 5 minutes? It's an interesting one. Equally, he's got taunt, tackle on alignment, which sounds quite horrific.
It does indeed. It does indeed. Andy has a lot of skilled up players in there who are looking very, very filthy, and obviously making up for the fact that, isn't it sad, they don't come with tackle from the offset. C'est la vie. Just in yes or a no then from you two gentlemen, would you be taking the Death Roller in your dwarf team, Chris?
Yes.
Tom?
No.
Controversial stuff once again from Monday Night Roundup. More on that in due course. If you want to send any complaints, you send them to the usual address, and we will do our best to ignore them. Congratulations to James. Commiserations to Andy. Obviously, coming up, following on the back of his results against Leanne and the Hamanaptra Hammers. We will come on to look at the division shortly, but again, a good 2-0 win for the Tomb Kings. We're going to be moving then away from the Tomb Kings. We're going to go to the Blades group now, and we're going to go to what was an incredible match, looking at it on tour play as well. This was the match that really summed it up. It just kept on giving, really. Mr. Hovel, a 3-2 win for the Black Shirt Ballers. The floor is yours, as they say.
Yeah. Firstly, a huge thank you to Ben for such a ridiculously fun game. There was double skulls galore on both sides, and there was annoyance on my side for not being able to pick up a ball or hand it to any of my team players. So it started off, as I say, it took me till turn 5 to actually hand the flipping ball off to someone. Then very quickly on turn 5, I had 2 casualties, a death and of a flesh golem and a death of a wraith. Luckily, both regened. Beautiful. So I then scored very quickly after that to try and get them back, which they courteously did, come straight back. I then started to finally start causing my own casualties, just one from a gnome lineman. These gnomes are tricky little so-and-sos. You take them for granted that they just think, oh, well, they're just going to go over. No. Jump up is an annoying little thing as well as wrestle on them. But very, very quickly, straight back at it, a fox drew it 1-1 all. Then it started to just go backwards and forwards with casualties. Then the gnomes decided rather than run around, they was to be flying around. So we got quite a few spot-on successful landings, knocking things out on galore. Luckily, I managed to get it up to 2-1, but very, very quickly, as you can tell, straight away, 1-turn touchdown, perfect, straight in for 2-all. Then I started fouling, which, as you can tell, took a while to actually get someone off the pitch. Luckily, no doubles, so I was all okay. And then I did the unthinkable. I started to stall on turn 14. And realistically, I was just so worried because Ben was so competent with those gnomes and how he can position them. I just thought I have to stall, or else if I score early and give him at least 1 turn, he'll score straight back. So a very, very strong game from Ben, and a very fun one at that.
That's an interesting thing. We'll come on to Chris shortly, but Chris, in your role as A&DBBL commissioner here tonight on the podcast, and Tom's admission of stalling, which is not recorded on tour play, isn't that admin error an automatic disqualification from the league this year in the small print?
I mean, I mean, it's not, but
I rolled the dice. They said it was fine.
yeah. I'm just gonna have a little look at Tom. Oh, Tom, your treasury is looking quite nice, isn't it? So I'm just gonna admin that stalling so that you lose 10k. As should be. And you know, I was on the pitch. I was on the pitch next to Tom for this game, and the two of them were clearly having so much fun. And it's Ben, I've played twice this season. He's an exceptionally fun coach. He really goes for it. And he's so refreshing to play. And I'm so glad kind of we've got him in the season. And it was weird looking over and seeing Tom play some of the most complete Blood Bowl I've ever seen Tom play. Like, it's, you know, the boy was doing, like, he was doing some token Tom passes and stuff like that, like, but they were, you know, it wasn't like ridiculous distances they were coming off. He was moving and positioning well. It was a Tom that we don't always see. And it was a Tom that every time a dice failed or like gnome shenanigans leveled the playing field, didn't have a look on his face like it was all about to go downhill. It was just, you know, having fun. It was a great game to be next to, and yeah, it was a wonder to behold from both coaches.
Where has this new mature Tom Hovel come from, we ask ourselves? Well, whilst we ponder on that and some of the eternal mysteries of the universe, let's have a quick look at how Mr. Hovel is developing the Black Shirt Ballers then. Tom, no worry about elite tax for you with all of that block. Take us through your decision making, and what are you going to do with these two werewolves?
No idea at the moment. I've only just looked at my team just now, and I was like, oh, I've got quite a few chosen skills to be put on a few places on the key individuals. I've got to have a think because I've got 2 more games left. One against Ben, and one against someone else. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know that I've got a few left to do. So I've got to position it well. I don't know whether just be boring and put block on the werewolf and the ghoul runner, or whether to have something a little bit more exciting, maybe sprint, which I quite like during tournaments on a werewolf, or something like strip ball on the ghoul runner, maybe. I don't know.
Well, if you want to announce it in the next 40 minutes, this is your opportunity to announce it live to the nation in terms of the Black Shirt Ballers. Let's have a quick look. Then, Chris, in terms of how Ben's developing his gnome team, Juggernaut on a tree man, and then Bullseye. Bullseye, your new favourite skill, I believe, Chris.
Yeah, Juggernaut on the tree is is quite entertaining. If that's going to be doing any blitzing, you know, I don't know. Bullseye on the tree is my favorite. Bullseye and Strong Arm is a wonderful combo. I know we were talking beforehand, like with Tom, about, like, I was sending him messages about how much of a threat that really is when you've got a throw teammate option. Yeah. So yeah, he's got some good skills around here. Sprint on a fox is going to come in handy if he can keep it alive, and then he is starting to rack up the dodge on a lot of those other names. So he's getting where he needs to be.
He is, and just want to repeat exactly what you said, Chris. Ben has been absolutely fantastic and really added a lovely bit of color to the community and to season 10 as well. And again, he's got some fantastic painted trees as well. Lesson to us all. So commiserations to Ben. Look forward to seeing how you take these gnomes in your next game. Congratulations to Mr. Hovel on another win in the season so far. A few things, recommendations and suggestions coming through from chat. Justin saying block is overrated, get Juggernaut on the Frenzy Wolf. And then also Carl is suggesting tackle on that Wraith is naughty. That dirty bed sheet, he is making friends. Okay. Moving away then from one game in the Blaze group to the next game in the Blaze group. A smile and a feather, Justin and the Imperial Nobility against the Bitey Ducks. He's smiling already. Look at this, Chris. Lie upon my couch. Tell us all your problems.
It was going quite well up until turn 6, I think. It was it was a game that I kind of went into not necessarily thinking I was going to get much of a result. I thought if I honestly thought, you know, for you know, I thought, you know, Justin's a very good player. Whoever receives scores late, the next person scores, it's 1-1, job done, is kind of how I thought it was going to go. And it did feel like it was going to go that way up until turn 6, when it just started to kind of collapse. I got a it was either turn 5 or turn 6 around then, when I got into the first position I was in to hit the Justin's ball carrier, used the hatred skink to good effect. And the skink comes in 2 dice uphill with hatred, doesn't even need the roll, gets a push, pushes into another Saurus who gets 2 dice, who pushes into another Saurus who gets 2 dice, and none of them take the ball carrier down. And then the ball carrier breaks free, and then skinks are then a bit more vulnerable because it's kind of got past the Saurus line, and then they just started to drop like flies. So niggling injury, journeyman badly hurt. 2 turns later, niggling injury, miss next game. So start the second half with just the one skink on the field. The first thing that skink does is a 1 into a 1 to secure the ball, which is on the touchline, goes out, gets thrown closer to the front. That skink doesn't last too much longer on the field. By turn 10, that skink's gone, and then it is just how long can I keep 6 Saurus alive, or 5 Saurus and a Cruxigor. So it sort of, there was no point in trying to score at that point, and there was no point in trying to stop Justin scoring. It was how many blocks can I do, how many can I get any casualty from this. We got, I don't know if we did, actually, looking through it. We did a lot of fouls. Saurus ended up fouling till the end of the game, but it was sort of a passenger by that point. And Justin had the numbers and, did very well and plowed through. I think the first half felt like a good representation of me v Justin, me putting up a good fight and a pretty balanced, hard fought game. And the second half, there's just not a lot I could do. So very well done to Justin.
Tom, we've all been there. We've all had these days where the match starts in a positive fashion and then it just runs away.
Yeah. Did their fend have a big impact as well?
I mean, I've played his ability before and played ability before, and with the Juggernaut, like, you could ignore fend on Juggernaut.
Oh, okay.
A lot of I wouldn't say that the fend, stand firm, wrestle, like, I think because I knew it was there, I kind of did what I needed to when I needed to combat it. You know, it turns off on normal blocks. The wrestle turns off the block skill for the Saurus, so that obviously has a point. But I don't think it made as much impact as maybe it did in the first one, where I position in the first game we played, where I didn't position as well. So I think I was, maybe just a bit more aware of it. But it's always something when you're not on the blitz. When you're on the blitz, it's great because you can just ignore it. But when you're not on the blitz, it's always in the back of your mind.
And were all of the fouls part of the Crisco player protection scheme that I know is often run to make sure they don't get killed for the next match?
Yes, I did start to try to do the blocks with the non-Blocksaurus so that the Blocksaurus could do the foul to try and get them sent off. And same with Maeve. Like, if Maeve had a foul there, yeah, well, we'll foul with Maeve, because if she's sent off, she can't be gang fouled and gang blocked to oblivion. So yeah, it was protection.
Lesson to us all, coaches. That's how much Chris loves these players. He would rather see them on the bin ready to go next time than risk any little injury or bruise.
That was the best thing about the chameleon being missed next game. When the chameleon was missed next game, it was like this is the game. This is game 7, and this is the game that I would have wanted this match, because I've got 3 chameleons missing the next game. I'll take all journeymen against Josh. That's fine. But I've got 3 skilled. I've got a chameleon and 2 skilled skinks who are guaranteed to be there for the first playoff game. So for me, that's a win.
And just a quick question: how close was Justin to claiming the bounty on Ken Wu?
My APOC had failed by that point already. Because I think my APOC has failed 3 games in a row since I bought it. So the APOC had already failed. So it was just what will be. And yeah, it was okay that it was a MNG.
Well, we know you've got at least one more win guaranteed in the 5
Only
game.
one. Only one.
You never know, that might be broken. And Tom, Justin did what needed to be done. We've all played when opposition dice don't go their way, and as a Blood Bowl coach, you just got to keep playing your game in terms of getting that result as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to say, dice was one-sided by the looks of things. With, I think Justin was saying that Maeve boneheaded as well, and he just ran through the middle, as well as using Ivor as well. So obviously using Ivor to the great use, really. Yeah, well done on fouling with Maeve. I like your tactics. I think I might take that on board when my dice inevitably fail. Yeah,
That's classic Chris Co. And whilst you're there, Tom, should both of Justin's blitzers deserve rightly have a bounty against them? Both of them now with the Blodge combo, with catch, with pro. So there's the reroll as well for the 3-up, and then 2 now strength 4s. That's pretty filthy, isn't it?
that is horrible, isn't it? That really is. Yeah. Yeah, that's not a nice combination there, especially with one of them's already up to 10 SPP as well. I don't know how many games he's got left, but I'm pleased I've got my games out of the way with him.
Well, he's looking very, very good for the knockout as well, in terms of the strength of this team as well. So congratulations, Justin! Great win there. Commiserations, Mr. Co. As you said, at least you've got your skilled skinks and the mighty Ken Wu to come back for your knockout game as well. Moving on then from the Blades group, we are now going to go into the Destroyers. This is Jamie returning with his OWA Dwarf Light up against a man who's had a fantastic season, making that transition from the Edge of Wood Elves last year into the Slurry squad. And I'm really enjoying seeing Mark take to this. I spoke to him on Saturday. He did say that he recognises maybe his SP isn't where it should be in terms of the SPP, Justin, in terms of generating per game. But another win, 4 out of 4. Is this, Chris, a man who has found his team?
Yeah, I mean, it's only Mark's second season. He's made the switch from Wood Elves. Nurgle, we know in this new edition, are sort of quite tasty. And I think maybe he is slightly down on SPP. He's not necessarily marched away with with casualties, which Brawling Brutes will really help with for Nurgle. But he's clearly found. I think the most impressive thing for me is not necessarily the 4 wins from 4. It's 4 clean sheets. Like his defensive, whatever he's doing from a defensive perspective is really working for him and doing really well. And yeah, I think if he can keep that up, if he can just keep maintaining a completely clean sheet, you know, he doesn't need to worry about all the other stuff. If whatever he's doing defensively is working, keep doing that, and he's gonna go pretty far with this team.
Absolutely. To use the Tom Hobble. Tom, looking at that then, the turn 1 injury with the guard Dwarf Blitzer at the time really was, from Mark's perspective, really helped shift the momentum in there. So even though it doesn't look like a lot happened, this was a very, very tactical game indeed. Mark claiming it then on turn 16. And let's just have a look at his team. What's your thoughts then? Yes, he's missing a block bloater, which is never a good thing. But this is quite an interesting looking Nurgle. It's just needs a few more casualties and SPP to really take it on to the next level. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, and it's the bloater that actually caused the injury that's been off, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a curious one. He's just as Chris was saying, he's clearly doing something right with a clean sheet, so no one has scored against him at all, and it's clearly again he's got familiar with this team very quickly. There's a few nice little ones in there. That 7 Pestigore with block and sure hands. He's really good. That's a really nice piece, especially with the likes of Nurgle, which are quite slow paced themselves. So having that as a bit of an insurance policy, that's really nice. He's still got another bloater with block waiting there in the wings, as well as the brawler one as well. Shame with the randoms with thick skull, but I suppose they may come in handy against the flamingos, but and also the black orcs as well. So good luck.
Definitely. I'm loving this sure hands in terms of on the Pestigore as well as a random. And I'm actually, for me, it's the nice combination of prehensile tail on this rotter next to the big guy, the rot spawn as well, with his tentacles as well. So if you can get away from him, it's only -1 mod or +1 modifier, isn't it, to try and get away as well. 3 rerolls, and again, just to show, because he is absolutely deserving it, 4 greens, 4 wins on the trot even. It's been a very long day. Congratulations again, Mark, and yeah, good luck for the next 4 as well. Countering that, let's have a quick look at the OWA, the Cuddly Crew. Started off 2 wins, 2 great results there for Jamie. Obviously moving from full-on dwarfs to his new OWA setup. 2 wins followed by 2 losses as well. Anything to think about from your perspective, Chris? Is there anything you would be looking at doing? Would you be looking at skilling up the Akacha and the lineman as soon as possible? And if so, where would you go with this?
Yeah, I think the odd thing with OWA is that it's an interesting transition from dwarfs to OWA for Jamie, because there's lots more to kind of think about, because there's lots more different things. From a kind of skill perspective, there's so much built-in skill in there that I think you can be quite inventive if you want to be. He's gone just for elite skills to kind of fill out the players, which, you know, is going to absolutely work and just make this team more powerful with each one he gets. I think the dwarf lineman, I guess it's a case of whether he is looking at that dwarf lineman and looking at that human catcher. I think the human catcher, you're probably looking at a stat increase, and I don't think there's really anything you probably don't want passing. But otherwise, if they were strength 4, if they were edge 2, if they were movement 9, if they were armor, whatever he gets is going to be pretty decent on that piece. So yeah, I wonder whether he's thinking a little bit down the lines of what in the way of stat increases can he get now, because he just doesn't, on a lot of those plays, he just doesn't need the skill. He just doesn't. They've got what they need, so he can afford to be patient.
Question to both of you: would you take the ogre or the tree man in this current season?
I would go ogre.
If I had to choose just aesthetically, I'd probably aesthetically go tree. If I was going for more practicality, I probably would go ogre. The only thing about the tree, though, yes, if you do the take route, at least then you can still block. So that's one possible thing, and you can still throw teammate. If, of course, you roll, really bonehead on the ogre, then you got nowhere else to go. So it's one of those very, it's an individual preference in terms of how I think, Tom, you want to develop your team. Personally, if I can minimize my, I'm going to have to think how I phrase this now, because this could be easily misinterpreted by people who, should they want to. But I don't try to spend too much time with too many big guys. And on that point, we'll move quickly on. So commiserations for Jamie, still 50% win record. I'm sure we'll see him have more success and how he develops this OWA team. Big congratulations as well to Mark, ones we'll come on to look at, heading up the Destroyers group. So we'll go on to the penultimate match of the night. This is the return fixture between Simon and Phil. The Gore-Forged Smashers for the Orcs against the Nitro-Fueled Wumpa Fruit for the Humans. A 2-0 win for the Orcs, started with the ball in the hands of the Humans on the opening drive. Lots of fouls, as you'd expect from the Gobbos. And as soon as really Simon was able to get hold of the ball, get that possession, get that first turn touchdown as well, Chris, then it was really a case of managing the rest of the match out for him.
Yeah, it's very, when you're up against Orcs and how strong that team is, to lose your ogre so quickly. It's very well thought about play from Simon to kind of target that position and get rid of it. So, it's the smart thing to do. A goblin for a ogre is an absolute trade that you'll take, and it would have made it very difficult for Phil to come back. Those Humans would have been very much outstrengthed, and I think probably had what they needed to kind of, and Simon's got better season on season, I think, and he's really done well with these Orcs so far. I think he has probably, been able to position in a way to shut down the big threats that Phil has, because the biggest threat in Phil's team is the other two catchers. They've got some really interesting, really useful skills in there now, are really good players, but I think Orcs are phenomenal and will have been able to shut them down.
Yeah, definitely. Good evening, Phil. Phil said in chat, Humans are frustrating, not enjoying them. Let us know, Phil, why is it taking a bit longer than expected to get them to the level you want in terms of skills? Or was it they were just up against, their nemesis in terms of the Orcs, the amount of bash, and of course Simon's not afraid of throwing the boot in terms of a few fouls as well. As we can see that reflected not much in terms of the SPP. Let's have a quick look at the Orc team and how Simon is developing it. He's got the team captain skill set there as well. Guard block team captain to start the top of the list, Tom. That's pretty filthy. And then do you want to take us through the rest of the team, how that setup is looking so far in the season?
I think the other Orc teams put the team captain on their blitzers. Big and then you've got another block. So it's double block. This whole elite skills is completely out the window for everyone by the looks of things by now. The thrower is looking nice as well, with kick and leader as well as block. So that gives you a bit of flexibility plus an extra reroll. And then we've got a cheeky little Orc blitzer there with strip ball and tackle. I was going to say that this break tackle on these blitzers now are making them a lot more movable. So obviously it must be very frustrating against a human team when before you used to be able to sidle up next to an Orc and kind of know more or less that they're not going to be able to move unless they blitz or block you out of the way. The troll is looking okay. but slowly getting some points there. And then we've got a lovely dirty player, Goblin there. Nice. And 12 players. So it's just not too bad. I don't know, would I get a third as well, if just a third lineman, Goblin, just to mess around with it? I don't know.
If you want to mess around with Gobbos, I'm sure Mr. Scott Norman, he'll be able to tell you what to do. Chris, would you be looking to develop this team in terms of, as Tom said, maybe an extra lineman on a Goblin or an Orc?
I mean, yeah, the treasury is there. So, I don't know whether it's a case of kind of sitting on. I think he can afford to spend 50 on an additional lineman. I think I would probably. I don't really know actually, because 7, 8. Now, I think I would possibly be getting another Orc lineman. I think I wouldn't be worried about team value kind of bloat at this point. I think he's looking very comfortable in the group now. He's looking in a really strong place to, if he doesn't qualify top 2, which I think is very unlikely, he's almost 15 points is almost guaranteed a wild card spot. You can't see many more coaches getting to that level. So I think he can afford to maybe take the Orc lineman, take that blow. But at the same time, he can kind of afford to sit there, see out his group games and see who he gets and see whether he wants to spend the money. Like, he's in a very, very good position here. I do not envy the choices he's got.
It is indeed. Simon looking very good. Let's have a look at the humans, the nitro fueled Wumpa Fruit. Phil is saying in comment there, 50-50 everywhere. How the dice are rolling dictates how you do. Yeah, it is always difficult. To Chris's point, though, we mentioned the Ogre missed next game now. However, let's have a look at those catches. They're looking quite good there, Tom.
Yeah, and now that they're strength 3 rather than strength 2, they've got a little bit more kind of endurance, really. Yes, sidestep is a lovely thing on them. Sure feet. All you just need now is a little bit of sprint on them, and you're away, really.
Yeah, what's Phil got? Phil has the 13 players for next game. Got a couple of halfling hopefuls, looking a bit light in the treasury. From my perspective, it'd be interesting to see what Phil does with these 2 human catchers. Both have sure feet, both have obviously dodge. It'd be interesting to see, is he going to turn the leap, sidestep, sure feet into a bit more of a one-turn threat, and then possibly put wrestle or block maybe on the others to, be dodging into that cage. Okay, or dodging into a couple of tackle zones as well. And then even if he just wants to put him, if someone wants to try and clear him out, then with maybe block or wrestle on that, it's going to become very, very difficult indeed. So appreciate, Phil, in terms of the difficulty for the 50-50. Good luck. It'll be interesting to see how you do develop this team. Obviously, grab and guard is quite a nice one as well, isn't it? Having a guard one on your human blitzer. So, looking forward to seeing how these humans develop. Sorry, Tom.
That's all right. I'm looking forward to seeing the Hail Mary pass being used on a regular basis. Run those catches down there and just lob it.
What we were talking about earlier, Chris, in terms of Tom's maturity as a coach, as soon as he sees the Cannoneer or Hail Mary pass, it all goes out the window.
I would say to Phil, like, it sounds like he's not enjoying playing them, probably unlikely to redraft them. The one benefit to having only, say, 2 or 3 players who get lots of skills within your team, but maybe not a spread of skills, means that when you look at the redraft, you can be like, right, I know who I'm bringing back. Like, if you were to redraft this team and you had the full amount and you were to bring back those 2 catchers and the blitzer, you're starting from a really strong place in a redrafted roster. So that's almost, even if you only brought back one of those catchers, starting a season with catch, dodge, sidestep, sure feet would be incredible. So it doesn't sound like he will, but it does make them tempting.
It does. And obviously with those redraft, it's not going to take too many games then to get up to maybe that stat to move them up to an edge 2, which would be pure filth. Congratulations, Simon. Commiserations, Phil. Let's see how Phil does over the course of the next several games that the humans have to play. Hopefully his 50-50 rolls will be a bit better. We're going to look at the final game of this evening. We're going to look at Feasts Wood, the Wood Elf, yours truly, against Mitch and his Waldenhof Blood Knights as well. I only played the match so I could not miss out in terms of commentating with you two on at least one of my games this week. How did it go? So it doesn't say there, but we actually started the match. As you can see, we actually went, if I get them to scroll down the page, we actually started with sweltering heat. So it wasn't particularly the greatest start for Mitch and the vampires. I decided to take Acorn, just so I had the extra person and potentially someone to surf into the sidelines as well, just to make sure anyone going down for side cages was kept a bit honest as well. As soon as sweltering heat came up, Mitch won the kickoff, decided to kick and I could receive. I did what elves do. I thought I'll score quick. I actually managed a casualty with the War Dancer on one of his vampire runners who passed regen. Scored quite quickly, as you can see, straight away after turn 2. Got the touchdown as well there. And then after that, it was a question of it was back and forth in that first half. I don't think the scoreline does not reflect the first half as well. Mitch did a fantastic end between and didn't fail bloodlust at all or anything. Cleared out a marker with the Vargeist, who up until that point was performing and behaving very nicely. Managed to pick up the ball, get it, pass it to the diving catch runner as well. Who handed off and then managed to score the touchdown. The next time then we had the sweltering heat. It was 2 players off for each of us as well. I decided to score quite well. I actually decided to, for some reason, throw a 1 dice block with a War Dancer just to move. If I thought I'd get a push, that'd be great. I rolled a skull into a skull, and at that point, Mitch decided to punch a poor elf catcher in the face. The ball went loose. Mitch wasn't able to gather it as well. So the elf thrower went in, picked up the ball, dodged out, passed to the mighty Tom Hovell, lineman extraordinaire as well, with block, who did what elves do. He ran for it off down the pitch and managed to score. It could have been an equalizer on turn 8. So Mitch had 2 turns to score, really went for it, managed, despite being stripped of the ball on my turn 8 and having 2 elves around it, jumped up with a vampire thrower, went into 2 tackle zones, picked up the ball on a 4-up, handed it off on a 4-up, had a 3-up dodge out, then went for a 2-up dodge out and failed, and hence it was 2-1. Quickly in the second half, I managed to get a turnover because Mitch failed a pickup, and it was at that point where Mitchell was struggling with some of the things he's been struggling all season. Tom Huns has mentioned it in a few commentaries as well. 3 re-rolls with a vampire is really, really difficult indeed. It's all of the dice administration, and Mitch was a great coach and a great guy to play against, and he was really good because he was open and honest, and he was saying how he's feeling very frustrated and slightly disillusioned with the vampires this edition as well. Lots of challenges in terms of failing, a number of hypnos for the 3-up that it's been nerfed to this season, that and the bloodlust as well, quickly burned through his 3 re-rolls. So as well as getting a few completions, did be a bit rude, and the War Dancer killed the lineman as well. Yes, unfortunately, Tom Hovell was killed, so apologies for that, Tom, by the Vargeist, his best player of the game. And then obviously with a strip ball, War Dancer went in, stripped the ball, fell out, catcher picked it up, ran off and scored for a 4-1 win. So for me, commiserations to Mitch. Doesn't reflect the scores, although I just realized how much SP I got. That's pretty filthy, isn't it? And Acorn, by the way, did catch himself in the first. I think it was in turn 2 or turn 3. Acorn decided to go lots of dodges, and then the final dodge 1 into 1 to try and surf a runner, and just failed 1 into a 1, and fell over, casualtied himself. So so much for Squirrels, but I'm sure he will be back. Anything you want to ask, gents? Do you want to look at the teams or?
It's nice to see that Tom Hovel will live on in the form of a thrall.
Yeah.
That's good to see. Question for you, Scott. Your Wood Elves, you've been very patient with most of your skills except for the lineman, and on the lineman you've random delete skills. So has the development of your team gone? Because I know that you possibly more than some other people in the league really think about your player development. Like in early January before the season started, I guarantee you've got a spreadsheet somewhere with choices of first, second, third skill and all of this stuff. Has it gone the way you wanted? Are you happy with how you're looking at the moment?
Yes, it is, Chris. It's a couple of games behind where I was hoping it to be, especially after the game one and the mauling at the hands of Carr, and especially Nobler Blackwell as well. So being able to turn it round to where we are today, and when we come on to talk about the division, it's still there are three players who are all vying for that second place. So the two war dancers, tackle sidestep, strip ball sidestep, great. Sidestep block on one of the catchers, block on the other catcher. Now, Tom Hovel has made a return here just to show you. There you go. He's now the arboreal Tom Hovel as my thrower. Tom, congratulations with leader and a few SP in the bank as well. And yeah, I have rolled a bit lucky in terms of the skills. Now with Nurgle, Mark Humphreys, he's got block. When I actually randomized that in the pub on Saturday night, it was block or tackle. So what are you going to do? So it's like happy days to play as well. So yeah, so the elves are looking quite good. It's going to be a very interesting week in the assassins group as well.
Sorry to interrupt there. Yeah. I know that Mitch has had a rough season this season, but on paper, looking at some of those players he's got, God, you'd want them in a tournament game. That thrower, accurate on the ball, safe pass, plus that runner with diving catch, sprint, and sure feet. Oh, that's really nice. Equally, having break tackle on the Bargeist is a really good skill to have, and that's break tackle and other non-elite skills are starting to come to the fore. I'm finding more and more when playing against people. Break tackle and wrestle seem to be really good this season.
It is well. Break tackled. Mitch actually used it on several occasions. Worked really well, and of course, strength 5, so it's a 2-up dodge that's needed as well. Yeah, the combination of the vampire thrower and the vampire runner was pretty good. Part of the challenge is, as soon as they fail bloodlust or hypno gaze, they sort of get themselves set up for a bit of a punch. So as you can see, there's definitely a couple of hatred elf players in there as well this season. Mitch, ironically himself, is looking at high elves for next season. I know I've spoken to him as well, and I think he is going to go a bit just complete YOLO, which is some ways the best way to go in terms of the playoffs when we get to that stage of the season as well. Chris, anything else from you in terms of vampires or wood elves or?
I think I'd just say that, like, to Mitch, and this probably applies to Phil, and there might be some other people. Like when it's a long group stage, and it can feel even longer when you're playing a team that, for whatever reason, they're just not working for you in the season, and it's good to see that there's still touchdowns and casualties and things that are happening with these teams. There are still some really interesting players being built, and it can be very difficult to keep going because it can feel very frustrating to keep playing those games. So just well done to them both, and any coaches out there, I guess, who are struggling to gel with their team this season, there's plenty of coaches I think you can look at as well that are on comeback trails or have slow starts and it recovers and come out at the end of the season with something to be kind of proud of. So yeah, keep powering on.
And that's exactly the ethos I was sharing with Mitch. And just to, because I know Phil's in chat today, if we take a look back at season 9, Phil was struggling in terms with his blobbies, his pink snotlings during the season, but he managed to, by the end of the season, be in the conference playoff and almost winning that as well. So, teams that may struggle in the league against a lot of other good coaches as well. Anything can happen in knockout Blood Bowl. We all know that from personal experience. So I'm sure Mitch will come back in the playoffs, and look forward to seeing him and playing against him some high off action for season 11. But enough of season 11. Let's focus on where we are as we come towards the sharp end of the season 10 numbers as well. We're going to start there at the Hordes group. As a result, of the magnificent James Handley in all his cheekiness with another win. So now 3 wins out of 4 with the Tomb Kings, moving up above Leanne now into that 3rd place as well. Phil on 13 places. So it's going to be very interesting again what happens. We'll go one coach at a time as we look through the leagues. Chris, what's your thoughts here in Group Horde?
I think James still has a bit of an uphill battle, but he is showing good form. It is going to be tough for Leanne and for James, the other 2 coaches, to I think slow James down. But they've both got to play him, so they can both do it. And we've seen both those coaches play some really strong games. So James probably has the momentum, but never say never.
Indeed. Let's move on then to the next group, going down into Blades. Obviously, Justin now top of the league, 16 points, just ahead of the Ducks and 13. 8 points for the Black Shirt Ballers, a possible 14 points with 2 more wins, Tom.
Yeah, but I've just seen Romeo's Chosen with a load of claws in there. That does not look nice. I don't want to play. I don't want to play them. They look horrible.
Sure, you'll have a lovely time to look forward to there as well. And I believe then Justin has qualified, Chris, for the knockouts.
Yep, Justin is confirmed as going through. So I've got my super special spreadsheet here. Justin is confirmed as through in this group, and the Gnomes, sadly, the Gnomes confirmed as they can still reach 3rd place, but can't get the top 2 now.
Okay, so good luck to Ben, good luck to Tom, and good luck to Rags, who I know is playing both you 2 gentlemen over the course of his next few games as well. Good evening, Leanne in chat. Boo, it's on, absolutely. If you can't win, make them pay in blood, but then you guys just have boned us. So yeah, just make them pay. I'm sure they'll entertain it and have a good time. Let's go then on to the Avengers.
Assemble.
He hasn't missed it. He's just professionalism.
That was his best yet. I feel like that was his best yet.
He's peaked. Hope he hasn't peaked too early. Let's have a look at that then. No games this week rather in the Avengers group. Will and Acredes are the top 2, just ahead of JD and the Dreadwake Executioner Rats as well, although still 4 games for Andy and a possible 16 points for the Gobbos as well. Moving down then, the one group or the one match we talked about here in the Stars group, Simon cementing his place in 2nd place there with the Gore Force Smashers. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but obviously Mr. John Reeder through. Does that secure Mr. Simon Stevens in the knockouts, or is it?
You would be silly to bet against him, but
yeah,
there are 2 coaches who can get to 15 points. However, if 15 points is not enough for a wild card, I would be very, very shocked. So I think he all bets would be that he is through with a top 2 spot. But Jane or Phil could win all their remaining games and upset that.
Good luck, Jane. Good luck, Phil. It's going to be really interesting. Going on to the Destroyers, there he is, 4 wins from 4. Coach of the Slurry squad, Mr. Mark Humphreys, ahead now of Jamie on 6 points from 4, Sam on 6 points from 4, Doobs and Scott 3 points from 4. This is it, Tom. This is surely the closest one in terms of the groups. This is going to be very exciting for second and possibly third place as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This is super close. And Drumsticks, Dirty, Rotten, Uncultured, Menaces specifically trying increasingly convoluted kinetic schemes. Looks like they're at the bottom, but they're no way out of the winnings from this one.
They aren't indeed. So I think this is going to be one we will watch all of the games this week for this group with particular interest. Looking at the counts, no matches from the counts, although I do know the return of Mr. Luke Bagger and the Prince of Ipswich and Mr. David Drew is coming up as well. I know we haven't said John Reader 3 times yet, so he hasn't appeared in chat, so we will wait and see if he makes his appearance as well. Finally, the Assassins group. This could be decided this week, actually, just waiting for confirmation of some fixtures with Tom and his Bretonian Underworld. This is how it stands. Mr. Tom Hans has qualified. Then we have the Honeyman, Evening Carl again in chat, myself and Tom. If Tom wins all 3 out of 4 of his remaining matches, then that will level himself with Carl. And depending on the way touchdowns and casualties go, that could be, so he's still up for second place. So he needs, if he can get 3 wins and a draw, that will definitely secure him second place as well. Yours truly needs the 1 win, and then hopefully results go against him. Carl again needs a win as well to secure possibly that second team. So all to play for, and hopefully we'll have the results of that by this time next week. Chris, Tom, any thoughts on that one? Any favourites you want to go through or not?
Oh, I think calling a favourite for second place in that group would not please anyone.
Yeah.
You could have said Tom, and then just had it.
I'm going to veto my vote.
Love it. That's what we like. Okay, have a quick look then at the fixtures already in. The calendar already in this match. A couple of games coming up tomorrow. So if you want to watch those on Tour Play, Sam against Mark, that top of the table clash. Then we've got Doobs and Scott, Flamingo, Tomb Kings against Gobbos. As you can see, then on Thursday we have at least 3 matches, possibly 4. Mr. Coe, you win this and you're through.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's confidence.
That's what we like. And then we've got James Handley against James. Again, more bone on bone action. And then Bretonians and Luke on Thursday. A couple of games on Saturday. So prepare for a long one next week for the roundup as well. Just to finish off then, gentlemen, I'm going to come to you both. Start with Mr. Tom Hobble. Tom, who's your game of the week and who's your coach of the week?
Right, so I think the game of the week, I would have to say, is yours, Scott. That looks a very, very good game. Nice number of SPP for you. Plus, equally, I still live on another team. I'm probably the only person who's ever played on to more than one team now.
Pass.
Pass. Okay, and your coach of the week, Tom?
My coach of the week will have to be to my competitor, Ben. He played a fantastic game, and he's an absolute joy to play against. And also coming all the way from Manningtree as well.
Very good, very good. Chris, your game of the week, please.
Game of the week, I'm going for Tom v Ben 3-2 for the Necro team. I think it looks like it was a kind of a tight game, two teams doing what they do best. And also, I think 2 coaches kind of just showing how to have a really entertaining and enjoyable game. Coach-wise, Coach is tough. There's quite a few to pick from. It's difficult to look past Justin. It's difficult to look past Tom. It's difficult to look past yourself, Scott. It's really tough one. I'm actually going to give it to James because I'm really enjoying this comeback, this kind of comeback march that he's on. So I'm going to give James, for not losing hope, my coach of the week.
Cool. I'm going to go for game of the week. I'm going to go for Gnomes against Necro, Ben against our Tom there. And then for coach of the week, I'm actually going to give it to Simon and his Orcs. I think he's really matured as a coach, and it's really good to see him having a good season and developing so far as well. And it just shows the evolution that a lot of our coaches and a lot of ourselves as well go on in terms of this craziness that we've got. Last things to finish before we leave everybody to peace and quiet on a Monday night. Any particular player standing out worthy of a bounty? Mr. Tom Hovel.
I will pick.
By the way, sorry, before you say anything, if you do say an elf war dancer, I'm just going to come around and burn your car down. Just saying that out loud.
Do it, Tom. Do it.
I wasn't at all. I wasn't.
Now you have to.
No, I'll leave that to you. He's closer to you. Although he's got an electric car, so he doesn't care about the petrol. No, I was actually going to say 7, the Pestigore at Slurry's squad with Glock and Shorehands. I try and pick the ones that go underneath the radar, and that one's sneaking through.
Okay, so we are going to see. Sorry, it's the. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong team there. I was looking at the Nitro Field. I'm looking, for the Slurries, aren't I? The Slurry squad for Mark. We're looking there for 7. Yeah, 7, the Pestigore. So if anybody would like to put a bounty on that Pestigore, now is the opportunity. Mr. Crisco, where's your bounty going?
There is a strength 4 block catch pro dodge blitzer whose block catch pro dodge blitzing friend has also just become strength 4. So it feels like we need to restore balance to these blitzers and give them both a bounty. So I know there's one on one. Let's put one on the other.
That was going to be my shout as well for Justin. Justin, take it as a mark of pure admiration for successfully getting 2 strength 4 blitzers as well. That's been it for tonight's Monday night roundup. A reminder, don't forget to book your games in as soon as you can. Go through the store, the usual. And again, if you do want to donate to our fantastic charity this month, we're doing a great job. Let's see if we can successfully get to that £500 target as well. Mr. Crisco, thank you very much. Mr. Tom Hovel, thank you very much. It's been an emotional pleasure and a roller coaster as always. Thank you to everybody in chat. I've been Scott, not that one, and we'll see you again this time next week. Bye-bye for now.